Hey guys, for today's video I am drawing 3 colorful portrait studies with colored pencils. I started with references, but my goal wasn't realism. I really wanted to push the colors and play around with stylization. It has been so long since I've done any colored pencil portraits. Yeah. And I just feel like I'm out of practice and I've been itching so bad to play with color. Because I've got to be honest, color usually, it scares the crap out of me. Like, I just don't have an eye for it. My sister, she's got a wonderful eye for color. Like, she can put colors together that you wouldn't even think about. And I love color. I love it. I feel so much happy feelings with different color. But I feel like I'm really bad at choosing colors. For my sketches, I am using a Prismacolor Col-Erase colored pencil in carmine red, if that matters to anybody. I didn't want to use graphite because I never seem to pick up all the graphite without losing too much of the drawing underneath. And also, graphite looks really yucky under colored pencil if it's not lifted up right, and once it mixes, it turns into a nasty mess. I tried also sketching all of these at the same time so that they looked more cohesive. I knew I was going to want to be push style a little bit, and I wanted to have my hand warmed up for all of them and just all of them to have kind of like a similar vibe. And originally my goal was to try to finish most of these, like, sketch it out and then, take a break, come back from it, and then color it back in the next day. It was kind of a rough week. I was sick a lot and I wasn't able to sit and draw as much as I would have liked. For today's drawing, I'm using Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. I was going to use my Faber Castells, and I'm excited to use them, but I didn't have an idea in mind yet, and I wasn't exactly sure how this was going to go, and I just wanted to get a few drawings underneath my belt before I attempted to use them, because I don't know if I'm going to like them. I think that's another reason why I haven't used them, is because what if I don't like them? It's a waste. I am trying to fix that mindset though, and try to just have fun with things. And that's one of the reasons I really wanted to do this sketch page, was I just wanted to play around. Like, it's in my sketchbook. It's not going to be perfect. I just wanted to have a fun time with color and exploring and playing with colored pencils. In the past, when I've done colored pencil portraits, I used odorless mineral spirits to blend. But to my surprise, if you don't use it for a couple years, it will evaporate in the bottle and you won't have any more. And so, plus it's in my sketchbook, and I had some cute sketches underneath of this that I didn't want to ruin. So that's another reason why I didn't use any solvent. I was trying to explore and play with different ways of blending. And like when I watched Chris Tong videos, she uses a really slow layer technique that allows you to be, I guess, more playful with colors, and you can experiment a little bit more without messing it up. You know what I mean? Like, you can build it up and have fun with it, and it's done so slowly and in such light layers that if something is a little off, it's okay, because you can easily fix it. And drawing this light, you can actually erase the color pencil a little bit up as well. And when you're doing like odorless mineral spirits, you can't really do that. I had intended to go a little bit more bolder and creative and colorful and playful with my colors, but I think for this first portrait, I approached it a little bit the wrong way. Like, I was looking at the reference photo and trying to like pick what colors that I could, like see on the reference photo and like try to emphasize those, and I think that just made it kind of harder for me to stray away from copying the photo. It ended up looking pretty similar to the reference photo, and that's wasn't really what I was going for. But the more that I was doing it, I was like, all right, I know where I'm going wrong with this. The next one, I'll have it how I want it. You know what I mean? Like, the next one I came in, I had a color palette already in my head as far as what I wanted to do. For the second portrait, I knew that I wanted to come in with like a tropical sunset vibe. Like, I wanted purples and orange and yellows and pinks, and I was thinking green, but green is, I have problems with green. I'm not sure if it's because I am still working on learning how cool tones and warm tones interact with each other, especially in different mediums. But yeah, the green on this picture, ugh. But I was determined to play around and have fun with it and just relax. If it didn't go great, I wasn't going to be upset about it. Um, I feel more excited than anything to just keep playing with colors and keep finding different color combinations that make me like happy inside, you know, like this specific color combination. I was trying to aim for like tropical splash Barbie from the 90s, like that whole 90s, like there's a few years there where I was living in Vegas as a kid, and I just remember all the colors. Like I don't really remember a lot of specific events, but I do remember going in like the casinos. My mom, she worked in the Tropicana, and my grandparents worked in the MGM, and so we were in there a lot in Vegas, and we were able to look at like all the dancers and the lights, and uh, it was awesome. Anyway, I was trying to put all that awesome feeling into this drawing, or like try to find a color combination that made me feel that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that even makes any sense, but that's what I was going for. It had been a while since I've done any colored pencil portraits, and I knew that I wanted to approach this a lot different than I had in the past, but at the same time, I was having trouble kind of finding a rhythm and being decisive and bold, you know, and just like committing to the colors. I did end up liking how this one went a lot, like until I got to the background, which I'll get into that in a minute. The only thing I hated is like this little spot right here. I was having troubles with, I had brought in like a blush pink, and I guess it was more grayer than I meant it to, better than I thought it would be, and it did not interact with the yellow that I had underneath of that at all. It did not interact well. It looked really bad, and I couldn't fix it. It's same with this eye. Like I ended up going a little bit too dark on that eye, but I think I fixed it. I did have to come back in with the white on top of that and just kind of like burnish the crap out of it to get it to lighten up. On the other hand, though, that did make me want to introduce like this like orangish, bright orange and pink color on the bottom of the eye, and that pulled it together like a lot. I loved how that ended up. It really did remind me of like, you know, Barbies when I was a kid, which I'm not going for like a Barbie vibe. I'm just going for the feelings that I felt when I looked at those toys. Like, I don't know what it is. Lately, I've been just obsessed with like toys that I had when I was a kid, and I was pretty happy with how this was turning out. I ended up adding a lot more pink into the hair, and that was really taking it close to what I was wanting to get. Like it wasn't quite there, and I thought that by introducing some green into the background, that might make it more tropically feeling, but it didn't. It went horribly. I knew as soon as I added it that it was the wrong choice, but like I had already told myself that even if this drawing didn't go well, I wasn't going to stress out about it. I was just going to finish it and post the video. Now this third portrait is where I started having a blast. I already knew what I wanted to do as far as how I wanted to start it out, and I knew I didn't have an exact idea with the colors. Like I knew that I wanted to go pinks and purples and reds, but I didn't necessarily want to go like tropical sunset vibe. I wanted to go more like pink punk rocker, because doesn't she kind of give off that vibe? Like if you look at the original reference photo, she looks like awesome and like alternative, and that's kind of what I was going for. And but the more I kept looking at that bottom left one, the one that I just did, I knew that I wanted to try to bring in some of those pinks and oranges and yellows again and try again, because that's all I could think about. Like I was trying to sleep and I couldn't because I was so excited thinking about what colors I wanted to add to it, and I was so excited to finish this third one. I was just having a blast with it. I knew from how it had gone with the other two that I wanted to come in and get those values and those shadows in mapped out right away. Like I wanted to take the purple and the blues and the shadows as far as I could before I started playing with any of the other local colors. I really tried to take my time to build up the colors and the values and kind of explore what colors I actually wanted to go into the hair and on the face. As you can see from the reference photo, her face is quite washed out, so I had to kind of just add colors and shadows based on what I already know about drawing portraits and how faces are supposed to look, you know. So that was kind of a little bit of a challenge and kind of slowed me down a little bit, but like I said, it really wasn't too big of a deal. I was trying more just to really nail these colors and have it feeling happy. Like it didn't go exactly how I wanted to. Once I had leaned into the tropical sunset-y vibe, I feel like I didn't really nail it as close as I had wanted to. But like I said, I am excited. All that really did was make me want to play with more colors. I would say going forward, I would probably like to explore colored pencils on top of markers or on top of watercolor, at least like for a base, like because I was having a lot of trouble feeling pressure to fill in all the whites of the paper. I was going for a smooth blend on the majority of it, and I really wanted to add texture later, but really all I could focus on was making sure that all the whites of the paper was kind of smoothed out. It a mixed media paper, so it's got quite a bit of texture to it, and it was just kind of more of a distraction than anything. It wasn't really too big of a deal, just a reminder for next time for myself. And I'm definitely looking forward to doing more portraits and exploring. And I'm definitely looking forward to doing more portraits and exploring like different color combinations. I think that would be really cool to just like pick up a bunch of different color palettes and try to apply them to different portraits and really like lean into the stylization. I also would like to be doing more of those clowns, but do them in color. That'd be so cute. Anyway, if there was anything I was going to do differently about this third portrait, it would probably just be that mouth. That mouth looks kind of weird. I just don't like how it's sitting, but everything else I really love. I really love how the all the vibrant colors came together. I did not think they would work as well as what they did. And the hair, even though I was going for that sunset vibe at first, or not first, second, I don't really think I really nailed the sunset vibe, but I do like how it turned out. I do love the reddish, orangish, pinkish vibe thing that's going on. I love it. I also love the piercings. They intimidated me at first. I wasn't really sure how I was going to approach the metal, but I had a blast, and I hope that you guys had a blast watching it. If you did, it would be so awesome if you could hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.